Hi everyone, my name is Ravi Prakash and we are studying simple equations right now. Okay, so from the previous video, we'll continue the concept of integral solutions. Okay, and let me write some more question here. I told you I'll discuss some shortcuts in this video, right? So some shortcuts and some concepts important we'll discuss. Okay, always important to open your observational eye. I told you initially, right? If the question is like 3x plus 9y is equal to 1084, find the number of non-negative integral solutions. Now, right, I'm sure if I give 5 minutes to you to solve this question, you start solving it, right? But I don't want you to solve this question. I don't want you to solve this question, right? Observational eye always open. Observational. Okay. 3x plus 9y is equal to 1084. See, this is a multiple of 3. This is a multiple of 3. That means left side is divisible by 3. Left side is divisible by 3. So, right side should also be divisible by 3. What is the rule for divisibility of 3? Sum of digits should be divisible by 3. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. 13 is not divisible by 3. So, right side is not divisible by 3. Left side is divisible by 3. Right side is not divisible by 3. So, no solution. Simply no solution. That's it, right? Otherwise, if you start solving it after 2-3 minutes, you'll get no solution. No point, right? Or maybe after 5 minutes. If you're trying hit and trial and not doing remainder method here, so taking 5 minutes and we'll get no solution, right? So always we'll discuss super variety of questions here, right? Every single concept and question we'll discuss. Just open your mind. This is aptitude, okay? Right. So 3x plus 9y is 1084. So no solution. Similarly, if I give one more question, 4x plus 6y is equal to 981. Number of positive or non-negative, right? Non-negative integral solutions. Non-negative integral solutions. How much it is? How much it is? Answer? No solution again. I hope you got it. Left side is divisible by 2 because 4 and 6 are divisible by 2. So right side should also be divisible by 2. But it is not divisible by 2. Not divisible by 2, right? I hope you got the logic here. I am finding number of solutions, right? So that means some random value of x and y. So 4 into x value is always even. 6 into y value is always even. Even plus even will always give me even, but it is odd number. So that's why no solution. That's why no solution again. No solution. Okay, right? Now we'll discuss some good shortcuts. Good shortcuts. Okay. First case, ax plus by is equal to k and both a and b are factors of k. Right? So for example, if I give you find a number of non-negative solutions or positive solutions of 2x plus 3y, okay, 2x plus 3y is equal to 300. So you'll start solving and get the answer also, right? But it's very easy in this case because it's like this case. Ax plus by is equal to k, ax plus by is equal to k, and both a and b are factors of k. So both 2 and 3 are factors of 300. It is factors of 300, right? So in this case, what are the number of solutions? So in this case, the number of solutions is always k upon a into b, right? First you do k upon a into b. So here also you do 300 upon 2 into 3. How much it is? It is 150. So since it is 150 here, so k upon 1 into b, right? 150. Let me use the red pen here. Okay. I'll discuss two cases. One case for non-negative and one case for positive. We can also find positive also, right? So one case for non-negative. Now how many non-negative? and how many positive integral solution? Positive means you start with 0. Start with 1, right? We can't take 0. So positive means starting with 1. Okay. So how many non-negative integral solutions here and how many positive solutions here, right? Okay. Okay. So it is 150 here, right? So 150 means, so what you do here, 150 means it will have 151, 149, 149 positive integral solutions. Okay. And 151 is non-negative integral solutions. Non-negative integral solution. Okay. So 151 non-negative integral solution, 149 positive integral solution, right? Here, k upon a into b. Okay. So we can write this value non-negative means what? K upon a into b plus 1. Plus 1. And positive means what? K upon a into b minus 1. These many integral solutions it will have. Integral solutions. So quite understandable, right? Quite this method, the shortcut derived quite easily from this 2 and 3 only, just for observation. If you apply that formula, right, this 300 divided by 2 into 3 will get us 150, and you can remember the shortcut, right? This is a very good method to find for this special case only, right? It will not be applied when both these numbers are not a factors of k, the questions which we discussed earlier, or if I put some condition in this question that x and mod x is less than 100, this kind of condition if I put, then this shortcut cannot be applied, right? So it is only for finding non-negative and positive. That's it. This shortcut is only for finding non-negative and positive. But you should know, because many times I've seen in many exams that this kind of question, sometimes by mistake also they both are factors, or sometimes by one is a factor of this k, right? By mistake also they can give this kind of question, right? So any one number becomes factor of k, that is a case 2. You can directly apply the shortcut, right? Very nice. So it's a good shortcut. Directly we can solve any question. Okay. Let me do one more example. If the equation is 3a plus 4b is equal to 60, right? So how many solutions here? So I can see both 3 and 4 are factors of 60. Okay. Both 3 and 4 are factors of 60. So get this value 60 upon 3 into 4. That is equal to 5. So if it is 5, so we will have 5 plus 1, 6 non-negative solutions. Since 6 non-negative integral solutions, and 5 minus 4, 4 in positive integral solution. 4 positive integral solution. Right. You can sense here why difference is of 2 here. If there is 6 non-negative, there will be one case with a0 and b some number, and other case with b0 and a some number, right? So there are two cases we are subtracting, because for positive any of the a and b cannot be 0, right? So like here, one case will be a20 b0, other case will be b15 and a0. So these two cases are counted in non-negative, but they are not counted in positive integral solution, because one is 0. That's why. So that's why 2k subtracting here. That's why 2k subtracting here. Okay. So, and one more important thing, while applying this method, this HCF of, make HCF of a comma b as 1. You can make it HCF of a comma b as 1, right? You can make the HCF of a comma b as 1. Okay. For example, next question will take, one more question will take. Okay, so 12x plus 15y is equal to 720, right? So we can directly solve like this, because here HCF has to be 1. A and B, the HCF has to be 1. That means both has to be coprime. 12 and 15, right? So we'll take 3 as common here. So to solve this, we'll take 3 as common. Okay. 3 into 4x plus 5y is equal to 720. That means 4x plus 5y is equal to 240. Okay, that is 240 now, right? So how many solutions here? 240 upon 4 into 5, right? That is how much? 12. If it is 12, so 13 non-negative integral solutions and 11 positive integral solutions. right? So directly you can solve it. Okay, 12x plus 15y 720. So a and b are not coprime, right? A and B are not coprime here. Now you'll think one small thing can come into your mind. What if I can't make HCF as one? Right? There can't be any such case, because in that case it will be no solution, na? 12x plus 15y is equal to, let's say, 721. Okay, and you can't make here HCF as one. You know that both are factors of 3. Still you can't make HCF as 1. Why? Because you can't take 3 as common. So there's no solution, because left side is divisible by 3. We discussed this kind of cases, right? Left side is divisible by 3 and right side is 7 plus 2 plus 1, 10. So divisibility rule for 3 is what? Sum of the digits should be divisible by 3. So 10 is not divisible by 3. 10 is not divisible by 3. So no solutions, right? LHS is divisible by 3. RHS is not divisible by 3, right hand side, so no solution. That's it. Okay, so no issue. That means in any case you have to make this A and B as coprime, right? HCF of AB should be equal to 1. This has to be coprime. Okay. Now case 2. Case 2. AX plus BY is equal to K, and one of A or B is a factor of K. One of A or B is a factor of K. So AX plus BY is equal to K, and one of A or B is a factor of K, right? So in this case, how many solutions? One of A or B is a factor of K. How many solutions here? So in this case, see, again same thing. Take the case of K upon A into B, right? So this will be in decimals, like this will be n point something. Because since A and B both are not factors of K, this will be in decimal. That like n, because both will not cancel, so it will come in decimal, right? For example, take 3x plus 7y is equal to 123. How many integral and how many non-negative and positive integral solution? So in this case, 123 by 3 into 7, right? 21. It is equal to 5 point something, right? Always, because it will not come as integer. So 5 point something means what? It will be 5, non-negative is 5. Okay, yeah, non-negative is 5. Non-negative. Sorry, if it is 5 point something, in this case, if it is 5 point something, so ignore the decimal part now. So non-negative will be 6 and positive will be 5. Okay, so there will be 5, always right. Positive solution will always be less than non-negative now, because always the case of 0 is excluded. Case of 0 is excluded, right? Now why, you can think here, 5, I told you value is 5 point something, so ignore decimal part. So 5 positive and 6 non-negative, always, right? So n point, that means here if n point something, so it will be like non-negative is n plus 1, n plus 1 non-negative solutions, n plus 1 non-negative integral solutions, and positive will be n. If it is n point something, so positive will be n positive integral solutions, right? So you can see here why did a difference of 1 year, which one case we are not counting. See, since one factor, only one of them is a factor of 123, that means one case will be here when x is equal to 41 and y is equal to 0. That means 41 comma 0. This one, in this case, 41 comma 0, right? Now y cannot be 0. Sorry, this x cannot be 0, because if x is 0, 7y is not a multiple of 123, so I'll not get y as an integer, so no integral solution. Since one of them is a factor, so only one case of 0, right? So when y is 0, x can be 41, because x is 3 is a factor, that is coefficient of x is a factor of 123. So only this one case we are excluding here, that is 5. 6 minus 1 is what? 5, right? So it's easy, I think. Anyway, any question you can solve like this. Okay. Take up one more case. 2x plus 3y is equal to 152. 152. How many positive and how many negative solutions? Sorry, how many positive and how many non-negative? See, by this shortcut, only two things we can derive: non-negative integral and positive integral solution. That's it, right? So calculate 152 by 2 into 3. It is 152 by 6. That means 25 point something. Okay, 25 point something, right? 152 by 6, because now here only 2 is a factor of 125. Not, sorry, 152, not 3. 3 is not a factor, 2 is a factor. So only one of them is a factor. So what is the answer? In this case, I'll get decimal. So ignore decimal part. So there will be 25 positive integral solutions. Okay, and 26 non-negative integral solutions. This is the answer, right? So all the cases we have discussed with respect to this linear kind of equation where ax of the form ax plus by equal to k, when some constraint is given, when none of the a comma b is factor of k, right? And in this case, when one is one between a and b is a factor of k. Another case when both a and b are factors of k. So all the form of the case ax plus by equal to k we have seen with some constraint also, right? But with constraint, I can only use that original method, right? We can't use the shortcut. The shortcut is only for finding non-negative and integral solutions. So non-negative integral and positive integral solution total. If some constraint is given from 100 to 200, I cannot use the shortcut, right? Then again, we have a fairly easy method only, right? We discussed it. 2x plus 3y is equal to 152. Okay. So solution will depend on only, because x will increase or decrease in steps of 3, 3. Y will increase or decrease in steps of 2, 2. Solution will depend only on x. Solution will depend only on x. Okay. So in this case, we can solve by taking y as an integer and we can solve it, right? It won't also take much time, but these are the special cases which are special shortcuts. So that means we can save time if the question is in this form. Okay. Now I'll tell you one more important point here. One more shortcut I'll tell you. See, 5x plus 13y is equal to 1002. This question we discussed, right? This question we discussed, and the answer was 15, right? So here none of a comma if ax plus by is equal to k, and none of a comma a or b, none of a or b is a factor of k. None of a or b is a factor of k. Okay, so 5x ax plus by is equal to k, and none of a or b is a factor of k. What we can do in that case if none of a or b is a factor of k? See, the answer will be, in this case, we can't get, because none of a and b is a factor. We discussed this case, right? Solution will depend on x, it will not depend on y. Series of x, and we can solve it like that. But we can use one shortcut here. Answer will be 1000 by 2 by 5 into 13. 1002 by 5 into 13, and this could be, right, if it is coming as 15 point something, if it is coming as 15 point something, right, 15 point something, then the answer for sure has to be 15 or 16. 15 or 16, right? In this case, we remember, if you remember, answer was 15 solutions. Okay, 15 non-negative solutions. So non-negative solutions will be 15 or 16. Okay, non-negative will be 15 or 16. Right. And will it make any difference if I ask how many positive solution here? So in this kind of cases, number of non-negative always, right? Always number of non-negative solutions. Number of non-negative solutions is equal to number of positive solutions, because in this case none of a comma b is a factor of k. So that zero case will not come anyhow, because x cannot be 0, y cannot be 0. Always both has to be positive. If I'm finding non-negative, difference between non-negative and positive is what? Only 1, 0. Here, since both are not factors of both are not factors of 1002, so none of the case of 0 will come, right? If x is 0, y will not be an integer. If y is 0, x will not be an integer. That's why non-negative 15 or 16, non-negative or positive, both are same things, right? So if, right, so this kind of question now depends on options. Depends on options, right? It depends on options. If you have options given and options are not too close, if you got the answer as 15, or answer is 15 or 16, and the options are 14, let's say 15, then let's say 7 and 8. If these are the options, then very quickly you can write the answer as okay, 15 is the answer, because answer is for sure. If it is coming as 15 point something, then answer is for sure 15 and 15 or 16. Okay, so this also you can use if you find some kind of trouble, some kind of options which suits this kind of cases, right? Otherwise, if the options contain both 15 and 16, if options are like this, A14, B15, C16 and D17, then the original method you need to do, and we also have a super duper method, right? Because of that logic that solution will depend on x and not on y, because x is increasing in steps of 13 13 or decreasing in steps of 13 13, the lesser number of terms, so solution depends on x, right? So that super logic with combining these super shortcuts will make your exam super. Okay, so now we'll discuss the next things in next video. Okay, we'll discuss the integral solution in next video. We'll continue integral solutions. In next video we'll discuss about some reciprocal solutions and all. Okay, reciprocal solutions. Okay, thank you.